Hello, James and James Guitar Lessons, and today we're looking at some Barr chords. I'm gonna grab my pad and paper here. Deborah had asked about the cage system, chord order, keys, notes, open chords, octave, and scales, and I believe she wanted to know if it's all the same thing. Deborah, they are not. They are not. All of them are completely different. So today what we're going to do is talk about Barr chords. So most people want to know about Barr chords, so that's where we're going to start at. Okay, let's see here. Alright. Try that just a nod. I could have just plugged right into my amp, and I should have, but it's okay. Alright, someone had asked the very basic of a Barr chord, and what do a beginner usually does wrong. Well, what a Barr chord is you bar the entire fretboard, all strings. So on this example, I'm doing a C chord, C major, and so my first finger is barring the entire 8th fret on all 6 strings. I got my third finger on the 5th string, the 10th fret, my pinky right underneath it. So my pinky is on a D string, 10th fret. My middle finger is on the 9th fret, G string or 3rd string, and I hit all of them together. Hear that? So that's the C. Now, what a beginner usually does is they're not pressing hard enough, or they don't have their fingers in the right places. So they will usually do something like that. So not all strings are ringing throughout, and you need all strings to ring throughout to make a proper Barr chord. So you hit all strings and you do it slowly to make sure you're hitting all correctly and that there's no buzz. If there is a buzz, find out where it's coming from. Okay, so I got buzz here. Press a lot, there we go. And all I did to correct that was press a little harder with my index finger, that's it. Okay, so, and if the buzz is on the, G string, press till I get that. Okay, and that's what you do. And you also don't want to hit the frets. So you want your chord roughly, all fingers, roughly centered in the on the fretboard. So, for example, my first finger is roughly in the middle of that 8th fret. Okay, if it's over too far, okay, it's going to hit the fret either way, and it's not going to ring all the way through. So the very first thing you need to do is make sure that all your strings are ringing throughout. So that's step 1. Okay. Okay, somebody was asking and saying that their muscle, and I believe they're talking about this muscle here, is painful whenever they play a Barr chord. Well, it is going to stay painful because you have to build that muscle up. And my personal opinion, the best way to build your muscles up in your fretting hand is get you a cheap, I was going to grab my acoustic guitar so you could see it. Just get you a cheap acoustic guitar, it's like $50. And the cheaper it is, the harder it's going to be to play. And if you can do a Barr chord on that, you can definitely do a Barr chord on a regular 6 string, electric. Another way to build it up is go down. So this is the C, this is B, A, and just keep going down until you can get that F. And let's say you're having trouble pressing on the G. Then that's where you start. If you're having trouble starting at the G sharp, then that's where you start. And because you want to build your muscles up. Now what you do not want to do is overstress your hand, because I do that on a regular basis, and so I get little injuries on a regular basis, because I always want to go to the next. I always want to stretch myself to make sure I can do above and beyond. So what you would do is you, if depending on your pain, if you're having that much pain, just go ahead and not play bar chords that day. Or if you have to, then you can play the guitar that day, because you need to make sure you get healed. If it's just minor, I usually ignore a minor pain and just keep playing and pushing myself through, because depending on your goals, if you want to start playing out, if you want to start playing in front of crowds, festivals, you're going to have to develop some stamina. You're going to have to get some strength in your hand and in your wrists and your fingers. You have to develop all your fingers and all those little muscles. The best way to do that, in my opinion, is to practice. And when it gets too much, you feel like you're straining yourself, you can just take a day off if it comes down to that. Or maybe that day, like yesterday, I wasn't able to do, I'm learning speed metal. Yesterday I had to put that aside because I'm doing muscles and different things, and it's stretching me. I can feel it in my right strumming arm, and I can feel it in my hands as I'm doing certain scales and different things. So you want to be careful. You don't want to overdo it. However, you do want to continue to press yourself to get to the next level. Somebody was saying that they are getting, when it comes to their bar chords, they're not quick enough to go from one rhythm to the next chord. It takes a couple of seconds to get my fingers in place. That's normal. Okay, that's normal. And where is my, here it is. I got something going on with my computer. I need to shut this off so I can get down here. There we go. Okay, so what you want to do is when you're switching, you want to make smooth transitions from one chord to the next. Okay, and let's just use the 4/4 time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm doing a C major, and let's say I want to play from C major to E minor. Okay, and let's say I'm not quick enough. So let's say I go 1, 2, 3, 4, but I'm not quick enough, and I miss that, and it takes a couple of seconds. Well, one thing you can do is skip a beat, or skip a half beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, I skipped a beat. And you can skip a beat to go on to the next, and that's not a bad idea. That's how I first learned to play along with songs. I would skip a little beat here and there, or skip a little chord, a little fill-in or something, and I skip it, and that way I can keep the rhythm going. And when you do that, you become creative. So you start playing things that are a little bit different. And in my opinion, that's what you want. You want to sound a little different. You don't want to sound, if I'm playing Metallica, Leper Messiah, I may learn that song exactly how they play it, but I want to add my own little fill-ins. I want to add my own little style in there. That way it's a little bit different. Okay? So that's one thing you can do. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so, and another thing that I personally suggest is when you're just starting out, I personally suggest you skip bar chords and do different variations of the chord. And for instance, the C there, but it's also a C here. So what makes a C? And I won't go deep into this. Well, what makes a C? 1, the root, 3, 5. So C, E, G make a C. C, E, G. So I got C, G, I got C, I got E, I got G, and then back to C. So I also got C, G, E, C. So my personal opinion, you break it down when you're first starting out. I ain't saying don't do bar chords at all. I'm just saying when you're playing along with the song, you might want to do a variation of the chord. Okay? So if the chord is this, I might want to go down to this. You know, if it's the entire bar chord, you can do a C5. The top 3 strings. Okay, so that's my take on everything. I still have a few more minutes actually, but that's all I can think of to be. That's every question that I just had. I think I just answered. So, anyhow, I guess that was kind of a short lesson. But anyhow, James Carroll, you can look me up on JimandJamesGuitarLessons.com. Follow me on YouTube. I'm not yet on Facebook, but you'll be able to follow me on guitar. What was it called? Guitar Lessons for Beginners. And you'll see me posting a lot more. Okay, thank you. Have a good day.